Hi everybody, Robin here at Toadstool Tarot. I wanted to do a video response to a hashtag by Chris of Elemental Cartomancy called How Tarot Works. It could also maybe be called Why Tarot Works or How Did I Come to Learn Tarot, because those are the thoughts that came up when I started thinking about this hashtag. I'm reminded of when I used to go visit art museums and art galleries, and I'd look at the art and try to make sense of it. As human beings, we're born trying to make sense of things, and I'd look at these paintings, these abstracts, and some not abstract, some totally realistic. And I'd listen to the tour guides come through and try to explain to tourists what the artist intended or what the artist meant. And I always thought that was rather pompous of them to jump to certain assumptions about what the artist might have meant, you know, without asking the artist. And I got to thinking about that. Sometimes they touched on salient points, and other times it was like, what are they talking about? It doesn't look like that at all. Or, I see that in a completely different way. And it got me starting to look at the art and thinking more about art as a language, a visual language, which if you go back to, I believe, is it The Key to the Tarot by A.E. Waite? I think one of the main truisms in that book is that the tarot is language in pictures, or something like that. I'm paraphrasing that, and I might be paraphrasing it wrong, but when I first picked up tarot, I looked at the little white book, the study book, and the words in there, the key words and phrases, and I thought, this doesn't ring with me. I don't know where they're getting some of these. These don't look like these images. And so I put that aside and I grabbed onto that one little explanation about, what the tarot is in terms of visual language. And I started looking at the cards and thinking about what certain representations meant to me or how I read them. What activities, actions are people doing in the cards? What do certain colors symbolize for me or relate to other colors and experiences in my life? And it got me thinking about, how we learn language, because here we are in a world, hundreds of countries and languages, and they all seem overwhelming to learn, but no baby starts out learning and knowing language. They pick it up along the way through observing their parents' actions and activities and things going on in the world around them. So I think a lot of it just has to do with how you look at an image, how you relate it to experiences that you've had in your life. Because tarot, somebody sometime back where or when decided to compile 78 images relating to various life experiences that everybody on the planet goes through at one time or another. And so we look at each of those and relate our own experiences to those, and it helps us learn from them, reflect on our experiences, reflect on how certain experiences relate to other experiences we've had. I sometimes call tarot a book of cautions. It's sort of a guidepost or a guidance on how to proceed or how not to proceed, how to make things run smoother in your life through a series of difficulties and the highs and lows of life. The whole range of human experience seems to be there in the tarot. And I think I had a bit of a realization when I posed a question to Kelly Fitzgerald at The Truth in Story, because I was using the cards and I thought, I don't know, is it a magic thing? Is it a psychic thing? How does one know the proper time to stop shuffling a deck and know when to draw those cards? How do you know if you're being psychic, if you've not shuffled them enough, if you need to shuffle them more? What drives that? What makes it work? And her answer was a revelation to me. She said, every card in the deck has something to say about what you're going through at a given time. And I think that's really true. You almost don't need to shuffle. You can look at every single card in the deck at any time, and somehow, in one way or another, it will give you a perspective on what you're going through at that point in your life. And our minds seem to sort of focus in on certain images and cards, or certain symbols come to the surface. I think it's because all those experiences are in our heads, and sometimes things are so cluttered there that we just overthink or don't see things. And when you can relax and just kind of look at symbols and images, and certain things come to the surface and sort of pop out. No, I don't pretend to know how the mind works, but I think this is how tarot works. And it's, like I said, it's like a language that babies learn and develop over time. You look at these images and you just pull different things from them that relate to things that you've gone through, that you've experienced, or that you've witnessed other people experience. And it is like a book. It's not necessarily a sequential book, even though tarot does have a system and a sequence to it. But it's not set in order like a book. We shuffle the cards, so it's like a book that the order of events is constantly rearranged into new books and new ways of reading. So there's something that feels like magic about how tarot works or why tarot works. But I think it's the intrigue of the mystery that excites us or stirs us. When it comes right down to it, it's just a pack of cards that have images on them that we sit and think about and try to relate to, try to make sense of, and try to help us find our way. My thoughts are a little bit jumbled at the moment, but I think that's all I wanted to say about this. But the next time you look at a deck of cards, think of it from the point of view of a baby entering the world and not knowing anything. And look at each of those images and think, oh, my mother did that. My father did that. My siblings did that. I did that with relation to certain circumstances. Yeah, give that a try. See y'all soon.